Hello everyone. So my name is Olivier. I'm engineering manager of the e-commerce integration team at Algolia. Fun fact, exactly a year ago, I was where you are seated, and a few days later I was applying to Algolia. That's the magic of the TechLunch. So why we having this talk? It's because one of the biggest challenges startups can face, talent. You may think about the fact that we are looking for acquiring new people, hiring. It's not that lonely, because when you are able to hire people, top players, those bright minds will come to your company, as they will want to deliver good stuff, quality code, inspiring documents. They will want to be impactful. They will want to ramp up from senior to junior. They will want to have new skills, being involved in bigger projects. They will also want to shine, that is getting the praise, the credit for their work and get the spotlight. It is the role of the leadership, of the management, to create a context, an environment that gives new people those tools. So it's ultra important to me. If you are in management, be sure to give your people the way to deliver, to grow, and to shine. We started some stuff in that regard. For instance, we have the TechLunch every 6 weeks. We also have Show and Tell. It's a weekly event where people can come, 2 persons at a time, explaining what they are doing and what are they finding or their new creations. We also have a buddy system whenever I hired at Algolia for a few weeks. We have an awesome education team that is creating content and videos. So I don't know if Thomas and Raphael are in the room. Yeah, you rock. Thank you. And we are thinking about creating a mentoring and coaching program. It's early stage. Right now we are thinking about what it means. We saw it's working elsewhere. So 70% of the Fortune 500 companies have some sort of program, like mentorship or coaching. The idea is to gain from those programs a way to give people a way to improve either personally or professionally. Could be soft skills, hard skills, stuff like that. We expect problems to be solved more quickly. We also, and that's ultra important for a company like us, to nurture a company of a culture of learning and exchanges. And the idea is that with people being more happier, they will stay longer within Algolia. So we had several events within Algolia, workshop notably, to try to identify what would be the different roles and what are the expectations from those roles. So the first one, it will be the coach. There are several definitions of coach to us. It's someone that could look at what you are doing and how you practice your thing and give you actionable advice on how to improve. You also have coach that will help you deliver something through a specific goal. It could be winning the World Cup. It could be finding, through a creative process, finding new ideas for your project. That's what we identify as coach. So better move, better collaboration, better code. Yeah, that's it. This one is like a map of mentorship relation between CEO within the valley. What is interesting here is that you have bright minds that were able to say, okay, I don't know how to do it, so I'm going to rely on someone that is more experienced than me to get that knowledge and to get some help. They have relationship for years, and you can see that, like Mark, is relying on several mentors at the same time for specific subjects. He was relying on the creator of Napster to get insight on how to create a tech platform, and we know that he used McNamee knowledge to have a successful business. So yeah, you could picture Bill Gates asking Warren Buffett about how do I make my errors more pretty, and you will say maybe I want blue errors, and that's why we get blue screens. Sponsorship is something you could use the word advocacy for that. It's really about giving names of people you want them to have the spotlight in an important meeting or if you want them to get promoted. It's not only that. In addition to that kind of advocacy, you can propose them to work with you on a project that you are on. You can also suggest to be a speaker at a conference. It's about to make someone known and to make room for that person. So to summarize, what the definition we put on mentor would be someone that gives perspective and advice based on experience. Like can remove problems that wasn't foreseen, personal team growing. While coach will be someone who you see quite regularly toward a specific goal to get better and or get new ideas. A sponsor is someone that advocates, create opportunity, and give the light. You can say, what about managers? And when I say manager, is any kind on N+1. It could be your tech lead, it could be your CTO, engineering managers. They should do that kind of things to some extent. Your tech leads may be a good coach for you to get better at JavaScript or anything else. If in the end you don't have regular meetings with your manager about growing, let's say, you should take a browser and see if grass is greener on the other sides. Now that we know the roles and the difference between them, what we expect from good persons would be those things. So a good mentor is definitely someone that is able to be great at listening, ask questions, is able to follow the string to understand what are the details between the story that his mentee is giving. That person should give a safe harbor, meaning that mentor should be able to keep the conversation private. If you have to vent about your manager or coworkers, that should be the place, and you know that what will be said will stay within that room. Mentor should be interested and seen situation because they will have to do a lot of lateral seeking to help their mentee get options, and they should not choose instead of their mentee. It's the mentee that has to find the right option, and they should let go the fact that it's not them that will choose. Good coach should definitely define goals beforehand. That is when you know that you will follow someone for a 2-month session. Let's say again the example of JavaScript, you will have to identify the subject you will put within that sessions. You will have to prepare each sessions with exercise, ideas. Don't come empty-handed. When you are coaching someone, you have to be mindful of the strengths and the weakness of that person because you will have to uplift them and not to push them too hard. Finally, if it's not working, coach should be able to proactively come back to their coachee and give good ideas of what could be alternate ways to get better. Sponsors. Sponsors should think in advance of the opportunities where they could push a name. So whenever they have a meeting with exec or with people that are organizing meetups like TechLunch, they should say, hey, I know Julie, she's organizing TechLunch, so maybe I will be able to push a name to her the next time. Regularly, they should think about all the person around them to identify the one that deserve to be within the light. Before they push a name, it's important to ensure that the person that will be pushed accept that light. If that person is not willing to be on stage or to be known for something that person is creating, it's not a good thing. You have to ask before. Finally, can start small. You can be within a TechLunch and give a few names within the presentation itself to do some sponsorship. If you are going to be a coachee or mentoree or yeah, you have to do your homework. You don't expect the other people to do it for you. When you go to a mentor or a coach, you will do 80% of the work. They will be only you to create the room for you to be better. And you have to ask a lot of questions. Be curious. Prepare your questions before the meetings. Of course, you have to be open-minded and committed to change. Having some time to reflect on yourself and be able to do introspection is something very important. And good change takes time. It's like with cooking. If it's good, it took time to be prepared. Value the time the mentor and the coach will take to give you input. Yeah, that's important too. Where to find mentors? You already have a network. I'm thinking everybody here is on LinkedIn. You already have a network of people that could give you some ideas on how to improve or stuff like that. You have persons within the company, and I'm not talking only within your current branch. If you are in IT, you could go to people that are in sales or in marketing to get insight on how to get promoted or get more spotlight. You could ask for people that are known to be within the field in conferences. And you could find, maybe you could have some role models that you are following on Twitter. Let's ask. You could ask for those people through Twitter. It doesn't have to be formal. It's not mandatory to go to someone and say, hey, do you want to be my mentor? You can start small with a small question. I'm having trouble with that situation. Could you help me? Later, it can be formalized, but it doesn't have to be formal at the beginning. If you are looking for getting a mentor, do know that usually you are looking for people that has the same gender, belief, or school than you. The main part of mentoring is getting a new perspective. So if you like microservices and you are finding a mentor that is also a big fan of microservices, it may be not the good thing to do. And that's it. Thank you. We have time for questions.
Questions? No questions?
I'm paid only if I get questions, please. I have a kid to feed? Yes, a question there, thank you.
Good. Where? Okay, I'm gonna send it to you, so please speak in the mic.
Hi, thank you for your talk. You said on the last slide to look for people with different characteristics.
Yes,
not somebody too similar. But I would say if I'm looking for someone who already has a similar experience or would give me good insights, I would probably go, for example, with a woman. Not saying all men are bad, but they might not have had the same hardship, and a woman might have the same problems that I would have.
Yeah, I get that. First, you are not required to have only one mentor. You could have several of them. You could definitely look for someone that has some experience in the field that you are in. So yes, if you want to, you could look for someone that has some of the characteristics. What I suggest to you is that do not look for a clone of yourself. That's just it. Okay. We good? No more questions? Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Quick question. I was wondering, do you have any mentors yourself, and where did you get them?
It was my previous manager. One of my previous managers, which was really inspiring. So I kept communicating with him, and here we were. Yeah.
You're still in touch?
Yes.
Today?
Yes, I am. Yes,
Amazing.
I am.
Like.
Oh, behind you.
Hi. You talked about how to find a mentor. Do you have any advice for being a mentor?
For what? For beginning?
Being a mentor to someone else?
I would expect that to be natural. If you are someone seen as a good person in your field, I expect that mentee will come to you naturally. I think that my colleagues have slides on that and maybe more, may have more content. But yeah, my first thinking will be about if you are a good engineer or a good manager, they will come eventually. And we had one last question here.
Sorry.
Okay. I'm ready. Thank you.
Good catch. Good
Yeah,
catch.
good throw. So I had a question. It's great to hear about all that. Is there any particular way in which you try to incentivize this mindset at Algolia, like to incentivize people to ask and request and offer mentoring?
Not yet. So we are really at the beginning of the idea. What we are planning to do is to find a few people that will be beta tester in a way of the service. We don't even have formal KPIs to identify if the program is a success or not. But yeah, in the end, we'll have to something to. Actually, we have a career track that is defining what are the expectations for each kind of persons, like junior developer versus senior. And there is already some sense of you have to help more junior people in it. It's not written mentoring, but coach, yes. So yes, there is a way, but not about the mentoring and coaching program itself. Okay. Are we good? All good. Perfect. Thank you very much.